Smash that like button if you haven't already. Love to see it. Sound is overrated. Let's start off the show like that. Sound is overrated. Like I said some amazing things on the open, but I don't think we're ever gonna hear them again. Ah. Hey, we're good. We're good. We're back. Shout out to everyone. Appreciate you sticking through it. Let me know that I was muted. It's a great way to start the first day officially of the offseason for all 32 teams. Effectively, what I said was we're going to talk about the Super Bowl. We're going to react to all the things. We're going to react to the Eagles losing to the Chiefs. We are also going to listen to or basically talk about how Brandon Aiyuk, Deebo Samuel were correct. A lot of people didn't like what they had to say, but sure enough, they were correct. Oh, baby, you already know the vibes. Dropping SDS. So what I said was dropping SDS in the chat. Smash that like button. Let's get this thing cooking. Where all my SDS at? It's off season time, baby. Where the SDS? We got Cash, the God, checking in on Twitch. Let's go. We got Anthony checking in on Facebook. It's good to see the squad. Good to see we're still hungry for San Francisco 49ers content. All that good stuff. We got Lil Heater checking in on YouTube. We got SDS worldwide. Oh yeah. I'm not going to lie. I'm enjoying the tears tonight because I'll be honest with you guys. Like I from a football perspective, and I want to make that abundantly clear from a roster construction, I like how the Eagles are built. I like Jalen Hurts. I think Jalen Hurts is a phenomenal quarterback. I really like the offensive line and how they're constructed. I like the way the Eagles are built. However, I have come to really disdain the Eagles fan base over these past 2 weeks. So, I'm very happy with the outcome of that particular game. And of course, we know what happened. The Eagles fall to the Chiefs, and couldn't be any sweeter. John B says justice has been served. Eagles hold that L. It does feel like justice has been served. I mean, it was really a wild 2-week lead up because we had the Eagles fans. I mean, the Chiefs couldn't have been in a better spot. They all week, all the Eagles talked about was my interview with Brandon Aiyuk, what Brandon Aiyuk said about them. Then it was what Robbie Gould said. Then it was what Kittle said. Then it was what Deebo said. And they are just constantly being asked over and over and over and over again about what the 49ers were saying. So at a certain point, we had a little bit of mental warfare going on. We got the Eagles thinking more about the San Francisco 49ers, more about the NFC Championship game, than really the Super Bowl. But it's crazy, man. It's crazy when you look at it. We go back and we listen to some of the comments. I mean, if you listen to some of the comments that were made, they seem to be correct. So if we take a listen here, We go back to the Brandon Aiyuk interview.
Expose before some unfortunate circumstances.
Brandon Aiyuk talks about it.
The City Pass game will expose what we thought we were going to be able to expose before some unfortunate circumstances happen. So we'll see. We'll see. This Kansas City Pass game will.
They called him salty all week. They called him salty all week. But to me, it appears Brandon Aiyuk was correct. One of the things that we talked about with Brandon was that he really did believe that the San Francisco 49ers had a plan going into that game on how to expose the Eagles secondary, right? That's what he was talking about. He was talking, and Deebo went on to talk about it as well. He called James Bradbury trash, right? So what Ayuk is talking about, he's talking about how they could identify weaknesses in their coverage and they could attack it and go after it. But obviously, we know what happened to us. We don't need to talk about. We know what happened to us. You know, but the Eagles, man, they weren't ready for it. They weren't ready for. I haven't heard from one Eagle fan. I haven't heard from one Eagle fan. Oh, they were quote tweeting everything. They were adding me. They were in my DMs. I've heard from so many Eagles fans this week, but I have not heard from a single one today. Interesting. Where'd they go? They love talking to me for the last 2 weeks, but I haven't heard a single word. Where's Sean? Sean gonna pop in here? Tia says it's funny how instant replay worked on the Devontae Smith catch yesterday, but not in our game. It is pretty funny. It's pretty funny how that works. And guess who stopped it? It was New York, as they say. It was the officials in the skybox. They stopped it. But yeah, well, I haven't heard from a single Eagles fan today. Where'd they go? They were, they had a lot to say to us 49er fans. They had so much to say. The 49ers are salty, this, that, and the other thing. Pretty much all I have seen on social media today is I've just seen a lot of tears. And like let's be honest, right? Let's be honest. If you're a fan of the Eagles right now, you are hurt. You are in pain because you just lost the Super Bowl. 49, we know what that feels like. The San Francisco 49ers. Guess who else lost a 10-point lead to the Chiefs in the Super Bowl? San Francisco 49ers did that. But so did the Eagles. And so, like, normally, again, I feel like I can, have empathy for even an enemy. And I do have some good friends that I do know who are Eagles fans, and I feel for them. Again, losing a Super Bowl is tough, right? But ultimately, at the end of the day, their fan base doesn't deserve that ring. the players deserve a ring. I'll give the players that. The fan base, no. Their fan base is so bad. Oh my gosh. And it's funny now because anytime that they have anything to say about a call, the Bradbury call or this, that, and the other thing, all that same energy that they were puffing their chest out with this whole week is just going to blow back right into their face like a stinky fart. Just right back into their face. Ooh. It is what it is, man. Yeah, the players, hey, I give a lot of respect to the players. The fan base, though, sucks. I like the players. I'm okay with the players. Nothing really stood out to me from the player side of things. Again, the trash talk back and forth was to be expected. Uh, but the fans, man, they deserve to be trolled into oblivion this week. And all 49er fans have been the same. All 49er fans have been coming out cooking. I mean, you had Deebo Samuel cooking on social media after the game. Deebo said, had no reason worrying about what we were saying in the media. Wanted to tweet about us, should have been focused on the game. No lies detected. Eagles fans were so concerned about what the 49ers were saying. Again, we got them deleting tweets. If you guys don't remember this situation, you had Quez Watkins, wide receiver for the Eagles, say, take your L and STFU. Shut the front. Yeah, I'm not, this kid's program. We're not going to swear. You could figure it out. Deleted the tweet. Cooked them. So that's the thing. It's like they spent so much time talking about us. Now he's got to take the L and STFU. Like, we should not see. He should take his own advice. We should not see Quez Watkins tweet until the regular season has begun. So, again, man, the 49ers, you could call it 4D chess. You call it 4D chess. The San Francisco 49ers had the Eagles. They were so focused on what the 49ers fans were saying, or players were saying, that, hey, got off your game a little bit. Maybe just a touch. Maybe a scotch. Deebo said, put an @ on it. Need to know who you talking about. It was, I'm not going to lie. Does it feel like Victory Monday for you guys? It kind of feels like Victory Monday for me. I'm not going to lie. I'm enjoying it. I have enjoyed it. And again, not because I dislike the franchise or the players. They're fans, man. Their fans are something else. So feels like Victory Monday a little. We're just sitting back. We're getting our facial scrubs, just enjoying it, soaking it in. You know, our heart broke 2 weeks ago. For the most part, we're kind of we're as healed as we can be. It lives on. 0-16 after playing the 49ers. Look at that. Look at that. You love to see it. But we did get some actual football news to talk about. I'm not sure if I'm sure you guys have saw this already, but the San Francisco 49ers have re-signed linebacker Marcelino McCrary-Ball, who's an undrafted free agent, brought in last year. I thought we let him go because if you guys don't remember, the San Francisco 49ers have already re-signed all those practice squad players to future reserve contracts, and Marcelino McCrary-Ball wasn't a part of it. And I think we even talked about it on this channel, and we were surprised by that because if we go back to last offseason, which I was at, Marcelino McCrary Ball was all over the place. You go back to his preseason, dude was all over the place. He's out here intercepting Love with the Green Bay Packers. So it was a bit surprising that Marcelino McCrary Ball wasn't retained with any of those future reserve contracts from the other, the other guys that were signed. But it does come out that maybe this gives Marcelino McCrary Ball a little bit more incentive towards next year by signing him individually to a 1-year deal. I haven't seen anything regarding the contract details, but it's not considered a future reserve contract like it is the others. It was considered a 1-year contract. So I would assume this is a little bit higher of a again, this is all assumption. I don't know, but hearing them sign future reserve contracts opposed to just a flat out 1-year deal, the 1-year deal sounds like it carries a little more gravitas. So this is the thing, is that Marcelino McCrary Ball has a huge opportunity in front of him because Azeez Al-Shaair is a free agent along with Demetrius Flannigan-Fowles. Both those guys dressed on game days. Obviously, Azeez Al-Shaair is a starting caliber linebacker. Been saying it all year, and especially since DeMeco has taken the Texans head coaching job. You can almost pencil in right now Azeez Al-Shaair is going to be LB1 for the Texans. I would totally assume that Azeez is going to get the check, and he's going to get the check from DeMeco to come in, lead that defense, get the green dot, be LB1 for the Texans. Very deserving of it. Obviously, we know the 49ers have a bit of a logjam from Azeez being able to obtain LB1 status because, as you know, the San Francisco 49ers have Fred Warner and they locked up Trey Greenlaw at the beginning of the year. So Azeez likely will go sign with the Texans. That's where I'm putting my money. And then on top of that, you also have Demetrius Flannigan-Fowles, who has been he was up there with one of the leading tacklers on special teams in the NFL. He's been a special teams guy for the 49ers. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes over with the Texans as well. And you have Marcelino McCrary Ball slide into that LB3 role. This guy's a freak athlete. He fits that mold of hybrid safety linebacker. So I think Demetrius Flannigan-Fowles was a converted safety. I can't remember if Azeez was a converted safety or not, but I know Fred Warner played all over the place. He played edge, he played nickel, he played safety, he played linebacker. So the 49ers like this hybrid linebacker kind of archetype. These guys that can cover, can move well, and can transition into running downhill. So it's a good signing. I'm very happy. I thought the San Francisco 49ers let him get away when they didn't sign him to the reserve future contract, but sounds like they were holding out on giving him a 1-year deal. So that is good. We got some moves. We got some moves today. So pretty excited about that. But all things considered, we're gonna have a lot of stuff to talk about regarding roster moves, free agency. It's officially draft season now, and all that good stuff. But let's keep talking about the Super Bowl a little bit. What did you guys think about that last play, or not the last play, but the penalty on James Bradberry after Deebo Samuel called Bradberry trash? Bradberry has a terrible penalty at a terrible time. Did you think that was ticky-tack? Did you think that was a penalty? Do you think that should be a no call? I believe it was a penalty, and I believe it should have been called. And because you can see, especially in the replay, completely the hold where he grabbed his hip completely affected Juju's movement of getting out of his break. So he 100% affected the route. 100%. So to me, that's a penalty. I don't know. I saw people like saying, "Oh, it's ticky tack. They shouldn't have called it in that big time moment." But again, man, if you're going to like just like holding, there's holding on every play for the offensive line. But as long as it's not egregious to the point where you're obstructing a defender's ability to get off a block and get to a tackle, you can let those things slide. But with that route, Juju couldn't break. He couldn't break out of his route because he was being held. So penalty seemed good to me. I didn't think it was too much to complain about. Oh, I think we got sad Eagles fans in the chat. Shout out the sad Eagles fans. We appreciate you guys. Oh, we got one of these guys in the chat. Hold on. Cry, Eagles, cry. Is that how the song goes? But welcome into the stream. Join us. You can and feel free to shed all the tears you need to. We're here for you. We're here to give an arm around your shoulder if you feel like you just need to kind of express anything, just your pain and your emotions of getting exposed by the Chiefs. Feel free. We're here for you. We'll take you in. And it's fine. Come sit in and we'll talk about how the Chiefs beat the Eagles in the Super Bowl. And like I said, we've been there. Come sit on the couch right next to us. We've been there. So come on in. It's all good. It's all good. We understand. We understand your pain. So feel free to sit on down and let the emotions flow. They're still trying to talk trash to us. And so like part of this, like I hope that I hope the NFL schedules 49ers versus Eagles week 1. We know the San Francisco 49ers are going to be playing the Eagles on the road. I hope it's week 1. I hope we get I hope once the schedule comes out, when that schedule releases, we're going to have so many Eagles fans in our chats. It's going to be these fan bases are officially like ready to go. They don't like each other. Eagles fans don't like 49ers fans. 49er fans don't like Eagles fans. Well, I don't think anyone likes Eagles fans, but 49ers definitely don't like Eagles fans. So if we can get this week 1, I agree. Put it on prime time as well. Week 1, prime time. The 49, I can tell you this, 49ers players are going to be foaming at the mouth. Foaming at the mouth to get this game. And if you put it week 1 and you just leave that taste in these players' mouths for an entire training camp, knowing that the first people that they get a hit in real live action in games that count are the Eagles, back in Philadelphia. Get your popcorn ready, baby. I want that. I want that smoke. I want it. I want all the trash talk leading up to it. I want all the trash talk. Oh man, we are going to be dunking on Eagles fans and 49ers fans are going to be dunking on each other left and right for 3 to 4 months ahead of the game, and I am here for it. I want all the smoke with Eagles fans because Eagles fans so desperately wanted this win so that they could justify all the trash talking that they did back to us as they were preparing for a Super Bowl. But now they can't. They can't justify it. They cannot justify the comments made by Deebo Samuel, the comments made by Brandon Aiyuk. They cannot justify any of it. In fact, we can justify it because they were right. Deebo Samuel was right. Called James Bradbury trash. Well, from my eyes, looked to be true. Brandon Aiyuk said the Eagles were going to get exposed. Sure looked to be true. So the Eagles fans, it's like a double loss. It's like they somehow found a way to lose the Super Bowl in two different ways because they talk so much and like they allowed the 49ers talking about them to seep into their brains so much and they had so much to say about it and then they proved to be right and lost the Super Bowl. It's like it's like two L's. It's almost like two L's. And I get it. 49ers were talking. We were talking, but have you ever seen like this is like 4D chess, man. We watched the San Francisco 49ers players go on media row at the Super Bowl and play 4D chess. That's what I think is the most brilliant thing about it. Is because obviously when Brandon Aiyuk came on with me and he said the things he said, he legitimately just said it because that's how he felt. Brandon wasn't trying to do anything. Like Brandon was being honest, he was being truthful. He wasn't salty. I mean, he was a little salty, but he really did come across and he was just like, "Listen, this is what we thought was going to happen. Obviously the injury happened. It changed the outcome, but this is what we thought we were going to do before this." He didn't go out of his way to throw shade. He was being honest. But of course, Eagles fans got a hold of a quote that was about this big and they lost their minds over it. Oh, how dare he? How dare he say that? How could he? I believe the 49ers saw the reaction to Brandon Aiyuk. And when they went to go do their media and they were understanding that they were going to continue to ask about Brandon Ayuk's comments, what did they do? They supported Brandon Aiyuk and they doubled down on Brandon Ayuk's comments. They doubled down. They heard what Brandon said. They heard the reaction that all the players, we got sound bites from players, all that. We heard about everything that they were saying about it clearly sat with them a certain way. The 49ers players saw that and they doubled down. They said, "You know what? We're going to go a step further. We're going to say more." 4D chess, baby. 4D chess. 49ers players got in their head. They were focused on the wrong team. And ultimately, what they said became Fact. Deebo and Aiyuk were right. And now all of those Eagles fans who felt so strongly about how salty they were, they can't even rebuttal it because it turned out to be true. It's like a double L. You know what I'm saying? It's like a double L. That's why it kind of feels like a victory Monday for us. Because, hey, we're fresh off the NFC Championship game. We had a game to talk about and discuss and work through our own emotions and our own processes and try to figure it out and rationalize that it felt like we got the game robbed from us because we didn't have a quarterback. But now it feels like a W. After all that talking. It feels like a W today, baby. I'm loving it. Again, I'm not gonna lie either. I fresh like and I told one of my buddies that I respect. He is a phenomenal professional in the journalist field. He's an Eagles fan, and I told him straight up right after they beat us, in the NFC Championship game. I was like, I want the Eagles to win the Super Bowl. I like Jalen Hurts a lot. I love their offensive line. I love how they've built their roster. I like the Eagles team, like the players, the team. And I was like, you know what? I'm probably gonna pick the Eagles to win. I would want them to win. But after the last 2 weeks, 180. 180. I'm like, oh no, I don't want the Eagles to win anymore. I was like, no, sirree. After dealing with Eagles fans for the past 2 weeks, no way do I want the Eagles to win. Not even close. I was like, listen, I respect the team. I respect the players that they have. Hassan Reddick used to be a draft crush of mine. I loved Hassan Reddick coming out of Temple. He was a draft crush of mine. I wanted the 49ers to draft Hassan Reddick. They just have players that I like. But after listening to this fan base, man, I'm like, no way in hell that there's no way I'm rooting for the Eagles to win. No, there's no way. It's crazy, man. Crazy how it all played out. Did you guys see what's their coach's name? Sirianni? Did you see that move that Sirianni did? I'm curious to see what you guys felt of this. I can even pull it up if you haven't seen it. It was an interesting move. It felt like one of those, like, again, kind of like in line with the cockiness of the fan base. Like it kind of felt like something that a fan would do, but this was their head coach doing it to where Jalen Hurts even had to correct him. Like, look at the smirk on his face. Every Eagles fan. This is the face of every single Eagles fan who has quote tweeted us, who has DM'd us, who has talked trash to us all week. This is what they look like all week. That was their face. Like happy as a clam. Like, oh, we cooked the four. Look at the score. What was the score? I don't even remember the score because I obliterated that game from my memory because the San Francisco 49ers didn't have a quarterback. But what did we hear from the Eagles fans all week? Oh, you guys got destroyed. Look at the score. What was the score? 38-7, 31-7. I don't know. But every single time one of them typed 31-7, that was their face. They look like Sirianni. They look like their coach. Look what the score was, 21-14. They look like him all week. All week talking about you got destroyed. Yes, we got destroyed. We didn't have a quarterback. Oh, it doesn't matter. Shut up, dog. Oh, man. I'm having fun today. I'm not going to lie. I'm having fun. Stay after the Super Bowl. You got Eagles fan looking like their coach over here. You've got the this is also another reason why I genuinely love Jalen Hurts. I was not a Jalen Hurts guy. Okay? At Alabama, didn't like Jalen Hurts. At Oklahoma, I didn't like Jalen Hurts. When they drafted him, I'm a big dynasty guy. I had Carson Wentz. I was like, oh, I don't like you even more now. But I've seen Jalen play, and I've seen him play enough that I do respect him a lot. And this is one of the, like, look, he's the adult in this situation. He's like, he's telling his own coach to chill out. I like Jalen, man. Jalen had a phenomenal game. Jalen Hurts is going to be one of the best quarterbacks in this league. I didn't think it was going to happen. I didn't think Jalen would come to this type of relevance in the league, and especially this early. But shout out Jalen, man. With all the crap that we're talking on the Eagles today, I got to give them credit. They got a quarterback, man. They got a franchise quarterback. I love what they've got with Jalen Hurts. And this is, again, it has nothing to do with football. It's just him being the adult in the room. I like Jalen Hurts, man. He had a fantastic game. Fantastic game. Pay that man all the money. Give him that $300 million extension. Do it. He's deserving of it. John B says body bag game next year, and Philly Niners want blood. That's what I'm saying. That's why it's got to be week 1. I think back to Detroit Lions week 1. Remember, we got the Detroit Lions. We got the Detroit Lions week 1 in 2021. And that's where the legend of Don Burr started, because Don Burr was chirping us for the months leading up to it. That's what I want. I want the 49ers and Eagles to know that they're playing each other week 1. So we have all offseason to chirp each other, because that's what it's going to be. The team that we have first is going to be the fan base that we chirp the most. And if you put Eagles week 1, guarantee you these lives are going to get spicy. Guarantee you these lives are going to get very live, because Eagles fans will be popping in, and we'll just going to troll them right back. And it's going to be glorious. We can't wait. They wanted that W so bad I think Eagles fans wanted to win the Super Bowl so they could dunk on 49ers fans more than they just wanted to win the Super Bowl. I believe that. I've seen some accounts tweeting about it. They're like, we want to be able to win the Super Bowl, to hang that Super Bowl banner in all these 49er fans' faces. Didn't work out that way for you. Salvador says, was he trying to flip off the sky cam? I don't know what he was doing, to be perfectly honest, man. I don't know. But it's hilarious nonetheless. The whole thing was just amusements. Can we talk about the main reason why we watched the Super Bowl though? Shout out Riri. Shout out Rihanna, man. What a legend. She's been doing it for a minute. Congratulations, Rihanna, on your second child. Fantastic. I know y'all had the same reaction I did. Is she pregnant? Yeah, she's pregnant. Shout out Rihanna, man. God, man, it makes me feel a little old. I'm not gonna lie. Makes me feel a little old because I've been rocking with Rihanna for a minute. Not everyone liked Rihanna. But I've been rocking with Rihanna for a minute. So there's a little bit of nostalgia there. Rihanna. God, it's been so long. It's been so long. Makes me feel old. People are upset because she doesn't write her songs. Not over. I don't really care a whole lot about pop artists writing their songs or not, I'll be honest with you. But it was cool to see Rihanna out there. I thought she was going to bring someone out. She didn't. Drake's going to be performing next year. Us old people appreciate how hard it is to get up on a platform and do that at our age. Oh yeah, 100%. And she was pregnant. It was cool. I didn't think it was like earth shattering or anything like that, but it was cool. Cool to see Rihanna out there. We're gonna get Drake next year, so it's gonna be interesting. I was expecting her to bring someone out. She didn't. Okay, she brought her baby with her. That's right. She did that. How do we feel about Patrick Mahomes? Are we ready? Are we ready to talk about Patrick Mahomes as one of the best quarterbacks of our generation? Is it time? Is it time to crown the baby goat? What's the 49ers fans reaction to Patrick Mahomes? I'm curious. I'm curious to see. Some yes, some say not yet. Yeah, he's only 27. The fact that we can even have the conversation and it can be asked at the age of 27, that's pretty impressive in of itself. So I agree. He's got time to go to be solidified as that, but we can all agree that he's on his way. He's on his way. You don't have to like him. You don't have to love him, but he is clearly on his way. If he rattles off a couple more of these championships, it's just a matter of time. What's crazy too is we're always going to be linked to Mahomes, Deshaun Watson, what could have been for the San Francisco 49ers if it wasn't for Kirk Cousins. Wasn't for good old Kirk. The game, I remember watching Patrick Mahomes versus what's his name? Baker Mayfield. I think it was Oklahoma versus Texas Tech. It's probably one of the best games I've ever watched. But I knew Mahomes was legit. from a throwing perspective, from an athlete perspective. He was I call these guys when I'm doing my draft analysis. I call them demigods. So there's you have blue chip. Your blue chips are like your like top 5, top 7 prospects. Your can't miss, your future Hall of Famer, future All Pros, right? Like your blue chip prospects. I have a tier called demigod where again it's just like it said, it's a demigod. With Patrick, I had a demigod loading status because the biggest thing, my knock on Mahomes coming out of Texas Tech was uh he was coming out of Cliff Kingsbury's system. I didn't believe in Cliff Kingsbury's system. The air raid, the spread them out. I didn't believe in that offense. I didn't think that offense would translate to the NFL. So my thing with Patrick Mahomes was he has all the talent. The talent isn't the problem. He has demigod level talent. The reason I put a loading tag on him is because I'd have to see how he would acclimate to an NFL scheme, to a NFL verbiage, NFL processing, those types of things. I didn't know. But he had the talent. The talent was never the problem. We heard from Patrick Mahomes. Even Tyreek Hill said he thought Patrick Mahomes was trash because he couldn't process as a rookie. And Patrick Mahomes had talked about it. He was never asked to process. He was never asked to read pre-snap, process post-snap. So it was something that he had to learn his rookie year behind Alex Smith. But the talent was there. The talent was never the problem. He always had the talent. The talent was easy to see. Anyone who watched him play could see it. So Patrick Mahomes has been pretty solid, pretty stout. So we'll see how he continues to progress. I guess I'm happy that he's not in the NFC. So we might just be meeting him in the Super Bowl for the time to come. But hey, it's gonna be interesting, man. This has some real Cowboys energy to it. Let's see. Have you guys seen this one? This reminds me of like something a Cowboys fan would do. Hey, all I can say though is for all the trash talking that went on this week, everything that went into it, the 49ers, we never got one of these videos out of a 49ers fan. I think that's the biggest W is we could have been this level of upset and angry at the NFC Championship game, but to be honest, we didn't have this level of uh outbursts. Uh People are saying it's fake. Listen, I noticed it too. So I've been trying to think about it as well because if you look at it, there are mounts on the back of the TV. So when the TV falls, there are 2 arm brackets, but there's no bracket actually attached to the wall, which is why it fell off. You can see there's brackets. My only thought here is that it looks like it's a party. So maybe they took a TV off from like in their room or something and they put it in a spot where everyone could see it. So that's my only counter to the fake video, but either way, it's still hilarious. But I could definitely see how that would be staged, but it was still hilarious nonetheless. They're all comedians. Okay, then it was definitely staged. But it was a good one. It was a good one, and I think it definitely encapsulated how they were all feeling, for sure. 100%. So, very, very good stuff nonetheless. Um, but anything else that you guys wanna talk about from the Super Bowl? Anything that stood out to you from the Super Bowl? Um, any closing thoughts, feelings? Oh, yes, this one. I'll tell you my story about the Tubi commercial. So I got in the worst way. So shout out my daughter, love her to death. But she's kind of, you know, she's like a middle child. So, you know, I'm sure if you guys have been a middle child before, you kind of know it's always a struggle, right? So sometimes you go and get attention in interesting ways, and so uh, my daughter, man, I love her to death. The Tubi commercial thing goes on, and it changes, and I'm instantly like, I can see my son, I can see, um, my wife and my daughter's behind me, and I was like, Reese, her name's Reese. It's like, Reese, what are you doing? And she's like, what? I'm not doing anything. I was like, what do you mean? Like, someone's changing the channel. And nah, I got. And full shout out to my daughter Reese. She did nothing wrong. And I was like, Reese, what are you doing? Oh man, that was a great commercial. I think that was the most impactful commercial. I'm not gonna lie. Watching the commercials, none really stood out to me. Other than that Tubi one, I would say that the commercials were a little bit watered down. I don't know. Maybe it was just me. Uh, but yeah, it didn't feel like the commercials were really on point. Uh, how did I like the commentary on Fox? I like Greg Olson. Um, I like Greg Olson a lot. I think he's really good. I didn't think it was. I honestly it didn't stand out to me one way or the other. I thought it was good. I didn't think it was bad. I like Greg Olson. But so far, I thought it was all right. I didn't really think of it one way or the other too much. The Eagles are going to look crazy different next year. They've got a lot of free agents. It's going to be fascinating if Jason Kelsey retires. But the Eagles definitely have a lot of free agents. So it's going to be interesting to see how they don't really have any cap space, and they got to pay Jalen Hurts. So the Eagles might look like a shell of themselves next year. So it's going to be interesting, but a lot of teams are going to look different. The whole NFL is going to look different. We're going to have a bunch of players changing teams. Trades have become more prevalent than ever before. Um, the whole NFL is going to look different next year. I mean, obviously, you got mainstays at a lot of spots, but this is also a year. This is also an opportunity for a lot of teams to change and switch it up. And 49ers are going to be one of them. Quarterback, running back, not running back, quarterback, O line, prop, maybe a wide receiver, linebacker, D line, edge, cornerback, safety. So it's going to be a lot of moving parts. So can't wait. Can't wait to see it all play out. But it's officially the offseason for all 32 teams today. It's weird, man. It's always a weird day because it's like, oh, there's no football. Like, football's over. But it's like, actually, football's just getting started. The offseason is its own entire beast. Again, combines in 15 days. So draft season it's been draft season. But for us teams that went deep into the playoffs, we don't typically do a whole lot of draft coverage when we're in the thick of the playoffs. So it's now draft season, combines in 15 days. Then free agency begins March 15th. So in a month from today, we're going to be talking about free agency. We're going to be adding players. We're going to be seeing players go. Then we're going to have the draft. So the offseason is just about to get cooking. So I think the content is just going to start cooking too. I got to do my scouting. I've got some college tape. I need to start breaking down the college tape. We need to start scouting prospects. We need to start scouting free agency. So, hey, man, that's what we do here. We put our GM cap on, and we build out the team from our perspective and see how accurate we are, see how right we are, see if we were close, see if we have a similar thought process as the 49ers do. And that's always a fun time. It's always a really fun time. So I'm ready for it. I've been a little resistant to it, but I'm ready for it now. And we're going to get into it all. It's a lot to break down. A lot to get into. But again, shout out to all you guys, as always, for vibing with me. We're getting ready for now the true off season to begin, and we are going to get after it. We got homework to do, but I appreciate all you guys as always for tapping in. Smash that like button. I hopefully got to at least 100 likes today. I don't know where we're at all with what we did on likes on this video. Hopefully we got some happy 49er fans and they smashed the like button, because that would be fantastic. So what happened to Danny Gray this year? Nothing happened to Danny Gray. Oh, we are already over 110 likes. Let's go. Shout out the squad. Smash that like button. Hit that sub button if you haven't already. The biggest thing that I have learned to understand is, listen, if you're a rookie wide receiver and you're coming into a Kyle Shanahan offense, just expect to not really have a crazy big rookie year. There's a lot that goes into what Kyle's looking for, what Kyle expects. And we saw it later down the stretch. We started to see Danny Gray kind of having that kind of blocking mentality that Aiyuk has developed in the league. So that's the thing. I've learned that with Deebo. I've learned that with Aiyuk. I've learned that with all these rookie wide receivers. You just got to give them time. And hopefully year 2, year 3 is when they start to peak. Rookie wide receivers so far, it's just not, you don't see a ton of rookie wide receivers going off in Kyle's scheme. So I think he'll be all right. Just got to give him some time. And also, he had 3 different quarterbacks and, didn't even get to practice with Jimmy Garoppolo in the offseason. So I think they'll be all right. But you know the vibes. Smash that like button on your way out. Get your cookie on the way out. We'll be back tomorrow for another live. And we're going to start to dive deeper in to how we get back to the Super Bowl. And I'm looking forward to it all. Appreciate you guys, as always, for tapping in and bringing the energy, good vibes. We're out of here for now. Peace. Smash that like button if you haven't already. Love to see